Alrighty, so the annotated bibliography. So here I'm in the home page, calendar, so on. I'm going down to week 9. So what I've just posted is this thing about the annotated bibliography, right? Which is the last part of the assignment. This thing, and you're doing it for 5 sources. So this PowerPoint is a quick thing about what annotated bibliographies are. You want to do APA format always has a page. This is going to be a little tiny. So let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. Ready? I think it's still working. Who knows? Okay, annotated bibliography there. Right. You need to make sure that you have a cover page and a reference page. That's just APA format. This is what APA, the references. So when you do an annotated bibliography, you have to put this first, and then you put the annotation, which is basically a long paragraph that contains specific things in it, right? So you have a source, you present it this way, and then you start, this article describes the process, So that's sort of the format of what it looks like. So the annotation paragraph has to do a few different things, and I try to just give people sentence guidance here, right? So here's an overview of what it's about. Here's 2 or 3 sentences about the source, like the main ideas about it. Credibility, 1 sentence, maybe 2, but about, so these people are researchers, or they're heads of departments, or they're what universities do they come from, or something like that. Or they publish a lot of books or whatever. You're trying to like hint at the credibility. You want to use a quote from it in your annotation, right? So just keep that in mind. So whenever, and you can use it, in a couple of ways, but at some point in that, you're going to use a quote to help you explain something about. So for example, number 4 here, explain how the student, you will explain, no, not you, but the student, explain how the student will use specific information from the source in their upcoming project. Right, so that's you explaining what this source is going to be able to do for you. So from this source, I will be able to explain what artificial intelligence is and how it's evolved over the years, because that's what my source is focused on. So you just connect it to how you think you'll be able to use it. Right, and the very last thing is a couple sentences where you try to compare it to another one of your sources. So you could say, this is similar to, and name the other source, and then explain that in a sentence or 2. Or this is directly opposite of what this person said. Or these people say that artificial intelligence developed differently because they say this. That's what the comparison is. And that is useful because it'll help you when you're writing the real paper. So that's the annotation. Here's this graphic I made of it. This is what it looks like. So this is one annotation of one source. I got the summary of the source here. I've got the credibility of the writer. I have described how you're going to use it. That's what all of this green is, right? And then between, or in it, there's a quote that the person uses in order to sort of be like, I'm going to be able to use it like this, and here's a quote that shows what I'll be able to say. And then point out similarities or differences at the end with another source, right? So the person names this another source and explains that it's a competing viewpoint. So you need 5 of these for your annotated bibliography. Okay, and so this is me just sort of focusing in on, and I'm pretty sure this is, it might be the same, just be like, here's what a summary, here's how I do the summaries, right? So this is from an actual student. Here's a summary, a few sentences. Oops. Credibility, evidence, and this is the quote, application. So these are just sort of close-ups, because I guess looks like I was worried that you wouldn't be able to, which is fair, see it super well here. So anyway, I decided to do that. Okay, so that's the annotated bibliography. So that's something that's, will take some time. I guess R3, right? This is in the writer's reference. So that also explains it. That was my explainer. When you have this finished, right? You want to turn it in. So here's the assignment 3 rough draft, right? This is still in the week 9 folder. So I'm going to click on the rough draft. It still has all the stuff. I'm going to come down here, browse local files. I'm going to find where I saved it, and then submit it. Yeah, well, let me do that because I'm not a student right now. The other thing I need to do then is go to the discussion board, and I'll move it up a little bit, but the next week 10, so that's going to be next week. You want to post your draft by this Sunday, basically, right? So go here, you'll click, and you will reply to this and post your draft. Okay, and then starting when next week starts on Monday, then you're going to do the peer review, and we'll talk about the peer review at that time. But review the thing about the annotated bibliography because that's kind of a big part of this assignment. Okay, and I will remember, text me, email me if you have questions. I'm trying to help people with their subjects, ideas. Actually, I have another thing. I'm going to post a document for people so you can just post your subjects and your ideas, and I can comment on them there. That way, should be efficient use of time, hopefully. All right, I will see everybody later. This is the end of the Zoom call thing, right? This always made me so anxious. Like, okay, you'd be like, okay, bye. And then there's both of you just like doing this for a while. Oh, I used to just be like, set myself all up and then